3 seconds of fame. Communication committee is officially open. I read the minutes, seemed appropriate, for November 28th. We also had to cancel the December meeting. Our city co-chair, Commissioner Adams, is out of the hospital and feeling much better. She will probably be online and watching us now.
Oh, she was in the hospital.
Yes. Update on the newsletter. This is very disheartening. We worked really hard to get the newsletter organized and it fell apart. So now this is my call out to that conscientious citizen resident that want to volunteer the services of the news to produce a newsletter and give the citizens an opportunity for information, being transparent. So unless we can come up with another means to get information out, the newsletter is definitely something that's feasible and we can do it. So we're looking for a call out to action for any residents of Benton Harbor that would like to help in creating a newsletter for the city of Benton Harbor. Information and knowledge is power, and that's what we're trying to do for the citizens of Benton Harbor, is to get that information out to them. So that's a call out to anyone that, please call City Hall, talk to the city manager, talk to the clerk, call me, the Commissioner Henry, whoever you can call and let them know that you have some interest in helping the city in their communication of the newsletter. Unless we can come, unless the city manager has a different thought pattern on it, mindset on it, because the newsletter is essential. So if it's not working as a volunteer, let's see if we can find some way to make it work. Now, we'll put it back on the agenda for next month. Hopefully, we'll get some volunteers. And we'll discuss it again next month. Hopefully, we'll let our staff come up with some great ideas like they always do. So, update on.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
Citizens
sorry.
have a comment,
I'm sorry, sir.
and soon as I have a comment, our city manager leaves the room, so reserve a spot for me or something.
See?
He's always on time.
Okay. I don't know if that's a hint or not, but we'll go.
I thought you were going to introduce me or something.
We'll go to you, the
No.
citizen.
The newsletter is more important than any of you guys think. Otherwise, I think we did something more immediate. More immediate about it. You had a meeting in here today. Our cameras were used. It's only because I hear things. And it wasn't us, it was about somebody else. I like that question answered. But as far as the newsletter is concerned, we shouldn't go another couple of weeks without making sure that that's in place. Because that's the only way the citizens is hearing anything. And maybe you guys want to keep the citizens in the dark. We've been in the dark for about 500 years, so we know what dark is. So if you guys you don't want to hear me saying things, and I don't want to say things, this is another year, I'm supposed to be patient and kind and loving too. And I'm trying my best to be, but I just need communications with the people in here making decisions. With all this money was coming in town, we really want to have a lot to say about how it's spent, like our income tax money, how it's being spent. You got to answer to the citizens about things like that, and they should be in here saying, yeah, this is what you guys should be doing with this. And I don't feel like it's like that, and I be in here all the time. So if I feel like this, imagine what the other people are feeling. So I'm just trying to make sure that we all understand each other. And I was hoping you'd have more people in here, but I got the right person in here, right people in here to take the wishes of the city. It ain't mine. I want more. But I'll settle with what we're gonna get. And I'd like to hear, I might be fast, but I want to hear a report on your trip when you get through doing what you're doing over there, city manager. Please.
Okay, thank you. Well, I think everybody will agree that the newsletter is important, so.
Not as important as Mr. Duncan.
No, it's not important as you, that's right.
I didn't say that like that. I heard. You
We're
guys
gonna get an
got the picture.
update on the website now.
So I have admin login. I'm just making sure that it's set up the way that we want it to be. And then all of the other department heads will receive their login and we can go live. So it's right there.
That's great,
Sounds kind of immediate.
that is
Good
great.
work.
It will be immediate.
Good work.
Website is so, and I did see some improvement. So I think, and I didn't get a chance to really peruse the website. But if it's dumb enough for me to get on and maneuver around, then it's dumb enough for a lot of other people to get
It's
on.
gonna be totally different than the one that we have now.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. What about the Chamber Take project now?
I believe they're supposed to be here all day tomorrow and working late to finish it up. I think the only thing that's left is the microphones,
Use the microphone.
Yeah. because the cameras all work. The screens work.
Have we actually had a taping with all the cameras working?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's something that I'm gonna have to have them show me as far as the cameras that they have set up versus the one that we use when we stream, because we'll be able to do different angles. I tried it, it didn't work,
Okay,
so I'll have to have them walk me through that.
okay. So, that's a good thing that we get theirs done. My concern about the chamber is that the comments are turned off, and I need to know why the comments are turned off, and let you know that I'm totally in agreement with most of the citizens that the comments should be turned on and they should be able to ask questions.
They did.
But who are they asking the questions of, and do they get a response?
Well, so that's the thing, who's gonna respond to them during the meeting?
No one, because we don't do that. Not during commission meeting, but in my meeting, I'm gonna try to accept those conversations, because that's what before 2012. That's what these meetings were for the citizens. So I'm definitely on that same mindset that during my committee meetings, there's gonna be an open conversation if need be. They have some questions and because that's the time that we should be able to answer them. But if I'm in committee meeting and they're asking something of me, personally, I should be able to go back and say, well, this is your answer. They shouldn't just throw it out to deaf ears, because that's not the way this system really works. If you're gonna be transparent and be inclusive, that's the way you gotta do it. Somebody gotta respond. So what I heard you say, Madam Clerk, is that you want to show some of the chairs or whoever's sitting in the Dollar Ride meeting and any other meeting that are being public meeting that are here that needs to be recorded. I mean, every meeting that goes on in these chambers need to be recorded and put on YouTube. Everyone. That's just the way that we can solve our lack of transparency. Even if the newsletter is not working, some people will look at these, will be online while it's live, and then some people will look at it later. So my suggestion is that the comment period is open, and that Madam Chair, I don't want to put more work on you, but if there's a question for one of us commissioners or the city manager, see if we can get that. I don't know how the process will allow us to get it. Do you have to email it to us, or can you text it to us, or can you?
I can compile the comments after the meeting is concluded.
The response can be in email.
I'm sorry?
The responses can be in email.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you can respond. It's set to where you can do comments and respond,
right, no.
so.
And I definitely will be doing it in my committee, and I'm gonna encourage the other chairperson and co-chair to do the same thing. If they don't do it, I'm gonna talk about them bad, because it's a transparency issue and inclusive issue, and it's definitely something that's gonna build trust between us and the voters. So if we do that, open the comments and make sure that each person is responsible for responding to their own question. So if they don't do it, that person knows that they didn't get the okay from their commissioners. Do you know how long it's gonna be before we have this whole thing wired to where, I know at one time, did we ever get the part that we were looking for? We don't know. Okay, well, definitely they're gonna wanna talk to you about it. Well, okay, did they give us any time period? Cause I really want to be, this 2023, I wanna be way ahead of ourselves and stop being reactive, being more proactive to what's gonna happen. And this system is gonna open up a lot of conversation. So I wanna be ready for it. So I wanna kind of have a talk with the other commissioners and co-chairs and see if they're definitely operate those, and maybe you can show us how to do it. Okay. Somebody said there's a radio station that we're talking to. Did we ever get any information from the school system about our radio, about their radio station?
No, not yet. The school system's been down, been closed down during the holidays. It just opened back up, for a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I've got feelers out for the right person. I've got Rona checking with the head secretary over the school district, head assistant over there, find out what really is going on. But they weren't back in session when I got
Okay.
One question,
Yes, sir.
one voter, one question. When will the speakers, when will the microphones be on? Because it's hard, I don't know if you have to sit out here to know what I'm talking about, but to try to hear, I'll just point a name, like Mr. Singleton, to understand him out here is not very easy to do. And
We hope by the end of this week.
by the end of this
I'm pretty
week,
sure that that's the final piece that they're working on, and they're gonna be here all day and after hours tomorrow.
Okay. Social media page. I've been getting a lot of information about it. A lot of advertisement from attorneys. Oh, you need an attorney just to do this. You need an attorney. So that kind of puts red flags up for me because I'm not into consuming. But did we ask our attorney to address this? I know he's all in the litigation and the things that he does at the Berry County Courthouse. But did we ask him to look into the social media, the legal end of social media? Because I know the ones that we have doesn't go along with all the guidelines that I've heard. Then I went to the MML meeting and they talked seriously about where you should be, what social media and how you should handle it. So I guess my question is, did we ask our attorney for an opinion, or am I just floating around here with big ideas?
Now, social media is, it is an accepted form of communication with today's, especially young people. So, and it's also, we use social media to see what's going on. But you want to use it to do what?
I want to use it to give out information. I wanted to give out whatever.
So whatever is in the newsletter, put it on social media.
can I say something to that, since y'all so smart? There's a lot of people ain't on social media. And those are the people that we talking about. I don't know where you've been or where you come from or none of that, but this is a home rule city. Let me say that first. And something like that is absolutely necessary. I mean, everything else is necessary. Everybody else's stuff is necessary. But we ain't necessary fast enough to do something for us. And that's what's been the real problem in this city for a long time. It ain't had nothing to do with neither one of you guys. But it was very bad, very ugly from mayor to the bottom. From Lansing to DC. back here to the bottom again, and we still get nothing. And that's why you hear all of these so-called complaints. There ain't no complaints, we know it's our time to get the things that we need, and I'm glad we got you guys to help us get it. I just ask, we don't have a long time. I want my kids and grandkids and great-grandkids in this city not to be gentrified, but to be a part of this neighborhood and be law-abiding citizens like we were raised to be.
Do you saying that has something to do with the social media page?
Yeah, because if we don't have the
Okay.
newsletter, we don't have the media page with it to fully inform. That's all it's supposed to be. But I think we do need both, since you guys want to split it in half, and we don't do that for nobody else. We do exactly what they say do.
Okay, well,
I don't want our people to be denied. The citizens of Benton Harbor, I don't want us to be denied in any, like my grandmama said, in any way, shape, form, or fashion. It's our time. Work with us.
okay, so, social media is
Part of
another,
the answer.
is another avenue. Of course, we don't have a staff, do we, city manager?
You're
to
gonna
run
fight.
something like that.
But we got friends.
Mr. Duncan, I'll ask you to please wait to be called on
Okay.
before you speak. Thank you.
Yeah.
I know we in here real informal, but you can take over a little bit, Mr.
Well, I
Duncan.
don't want to take over anything. I just want
Okay, so
results.
social
Quick
media
results.
is another avenue that we need to open up. Now, Mr. Mitchell,
You remember the first thing I said? If you do your newsletter, then your newsletter can be on the social.
I heard you loud and clear, and I also know that you brought out our beloved local paper. And I know at one time there was a conversation about Ben Spirit doing our newsletter. And we got such a big pushback by the body. It was almost embarrassing how they said no. I think maybe we can have a conversation with them again and see what they're willing to do, because we do have a little money in the budget for it. So maybe we should have that conversation with them and see if maybe the council has a change of heart, since we've been having such a hard time with the newsletter.
You need experience. That was the first thing we said a long time ago, back when we first started this conversation. And you need a means. You gotta have staff adding to their workload, putting a report together to go out into the paper. But that needs to happen. So we have to increase our workload and get it out. But you gotta have a process already set up. And you got something there that everybody reads in the city. And you can do a writer page, a writer.
Well, I'm not looking to just leave it out. I'm looking to go door to door. I'm not looking to leave it out for anybody to pick up.
There you go.
I'm looking for door to door.
Make sure it gets there door to door.
Right.
Man,
Well, I would definitely reach out to our beloved newspaper, Ben Spirit, and we'll have that conversation, and then next month we'll throw it back on the agenda to talk about. So you also indicate that maybe the social media could be also done by Ben Spirit.
They do the paper, put the paper on social media.
Now, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
This is like, to me, this is like revisiting some old stuff
I know,
because that was the first
I know.
idea. And it got slammed and it's been everything
Mr.
else.
Duncan, did you just hear me say that?
Well, I'm
Yes,
gonna
sir,
say,
you're
I'm a
absolutely right.
citizen. Let me finish saying what I want to say because it was slammed and dismissed. And here we are years later, and at least we got a standing chance. And that's what I appreciate out of it.
Well, everything happens for a reason, so here we are, we're gonna have that conversation again. And hopefully the body, the council, will, agree to move forward.
Will they support, will that be a vote to support the newspaper?
We'll have
Or
that
just to try
conversation,
to throw it?
we'll have that conversation with business spirits and see what we can come up with and come back to this meeting next month. And if there's a total agreement in it, then we'll give it to the body and let them vote on it. I can have another, if we have a good conversation that we can move forward immediately and big plans could be made and implemented, I have a special meeting so we can push it forward as fast as possible.
Well, I'm gonna pray you guys do that.
Okay?
My grandmother said prayer changed things, and that's what I'm gonna do about it.
Okay, sounds good, sounds good. Sounds good? Okay. I think that was it. Oh. Update on AmeriCorps.
Haven't had anything, any other communications over the holiday.
Okay, I will say that I reached out to several people in AmeriCorps. They got a whole new group of people. So we just had an informal conversation about the things that I thought we needed from AmeriCorps volunteers. And they seemed real receptacle, and they just said, we need to be the squeaky wheel. They said, that's it. We're looking for communities just like yours that have been affected by the pandemic. I said, well, the pandemic did us a thing, true enough, but you go back 12 years and you'll see something even devastating that happened to us. And so they're really looking to extend their services to us. So I give you their contact names that I have.
Give it to me. We talked, remember I told you last month, we had talked to, spent a couple of hours with Alex and he was talking to me, trying to fit us into their program, their process.
Well, did you come up with
No, it
a
didn't come
good
up.
thought about it or what?
We said we'd come back to them after the holidays. Holidays over now.
So what did you see, what did you understand in the conversation that you had with them?
First of all, they have to be working with a staff person. Gotta be supervised. And when I look at my staff resources, they are slim. One clerk, one HR person, really one finance person besides Rhonda. You know, we got some holes, and that's what my days have been busy trying to get a feel for what we can do with our staff. That's what I'm working on now. And I'll see if I can use AmeriCorps to help build up my staff. And then there's the question of where am I gonna sit up?
Oh, yeah, look, I'll just say that.
We need a city hall so bad.
Of course we do, but there's some places, the police department is just hogging space.
They can't go in the police department until they clear the records. You know that.
Well, that ain't nothing. These guys are cleared. They pass background checks. When the AmeriCorps gets them, they pass the background check. And within 2 hours, the chief could go down there and push a button and ask for them their background check and get an answer.
They can't do it until you're making the chief Superman.
He could put the information in less than 2 hours. And they could get him information. There is no.
As I said, though, we are in short need, we're very much in need of space. In space, just to have people. We need people and we need space.
I'm telling you, this building here was my playground.
Yeah.
As growing up, I went from the basement to this room, just a circle.
And you can't
I
go
know
in
this
the
building.
basement. Well,
I know the basement.
Yeah.
I know the basement. I know the last time I was in the basement, it was flooded and all our records was down there floating in scuzzy water.
Who's that?
I got a lot of it. I saved it. Took it home and dried it. Put it in a folder. I mean, water was like this, miss, so I know. But I also know that with money, anything is possible. Because look at how our water lines are taken care of. Only thing that got that done was $33 million.
More than that.
I know, but I'm saying, so I know that anything that we want to do, we can do it. If we decide that is priority money, then we spend it. So, I hope that this AmeriCorps, I hope that we're creative with our space. The commissioner give up their office. It's a little small space, but that's enough right there for two.
That's not funny because that was all of the commissioners and the mayor's office for,
We'll take the mayor,
Years.
half of the mayor's office too.
That was the personnel office.
yeah,
Human resources.
you remember. You remember. So,
And this-
now that we're talking about that, can I ask a question? You need the space for AmeriCorps. That's the space. Then what? How long is it gonna take now? Because if you got the answer,
Now,
you solved the problem.
we haven't got the answer yet,
The answer to what? Who?
because we don't have the answer we have
To AmeriCorps.
to AmeriCorps yet.
Okay.
That's what we're doing now, we're working on the analysis to bring it. So we can, in other words, we need to know, we don't need to just know one, we need to know all of what we need, and then see what we can get.
Okay, so in the meantime, whenever you finish talking, you still gonna need space
Yes,
for these people.
that's,
So you guys might as well, the commissioners and you need to Commodore that space back so we can get some things done other than sitting up doing camera ops or whatever they call them.
Okay,
The
okay.
citizens need everything now.
those,
Can,
believe me, Mr. Dunn, those things are necessary for your city to show personnel and what you got,
So-
your leadership.
so when is it gonna, what?
That's how we,
That-
that's how we were able to get the money for the lead line, because we answered the right questions. We asked and answered the right questions. And then we put the plan together to show what we could do.
Okay, so we're good with AmeriCorps. We're gonna put it back on the agenda for next month and hopefully we'll have, do we need an opinion from the attorney as to what we can do or what?
I'll check with the attorney on social media and AmeriCorps items on here, if there's anything that causes any heartache.
Cause I know they do have to be, background check
Oh,
and they are going to be involved in
yes.
something. And you can't use one?
Couple of them.
She got,
Yeah, no. She like Mr. Little a little bit.
Like do it all by herself. Oh,
No,
well,
you can't use one right now?
she needs somebody.
she can't talk. Let's get her
It's
one.
tough to say because the person that I'm looking for has to be trained in elections.
Yeah, but I'm saying, can you use another hand in your office? I'm not talking about your, cause we can't let a person do that as a volunteer. I'm talking about in your office, can you use someone else to help you do things, make things more efficient for you or faster for you or whatever? Possibly. Well, I know H
I'm
and
just trying to think of like my duties and putting like election aside.
oh yeah. Well, there's a lot of stuff you got to do before election. But I know HR needs somebody. She was just complaining about not having enough. When I go down to the water payment center and nobody's paying their water bill, people are talking and having fun. They're not working because nobody's paying their water bill.
It's more than one.
Nobody, I've been down there sitting, look, I don't see nobody come to that window as often. I'm just letting you know that is going on. Some things are happening that maybe AmeriCorps can help.
You're right about nobody's paying, no, well, I won't say nobody's paying.
That's
I
what
know
was gonna
somebody
say.
is.
Yeah, a lot of people are paying their water bills still, but it's not just water, it's utility bills, the water and sewers in there also, and everybody's still using sewer.
Oh, well, we're in for it, I already know. Okay, that's all AmeriCorps. Is there any other thing that we need to talk about? If not, hearing none, we'll adjourn. Thank you very much, everyone. We'll see you next month. And if we have to, we'll have a special meeting before